In this video, we're comparing the portrait mode on the Vivo X200 Pro versus the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Which of these two do you think is the portrait king? We're going to be splitting this up into three parts. First is the portrait mode comparison at different focal lengths between both of these phones. Next up, we're also going to be comparing the portrait cinematic video mode on both of these phones to test out stabilization and also depth and edge separation. And in between both of those, we're going to show you guys the best way to protect your iPhone all the way from front to back using the sponsor of this video, X1. So let's begin by taking portraits at different focal lengths. My personal favorite focal length to take portraits is 50mm and above, so comparing these two is what I was really keen about. Now taking a look at the photo samples side by side, for me personally, it looks like the Vivo is slightly more over-processed than the iPhone. The iPhone also has warmer tones than you see on the Vivo. When it comes to edge separation, they're both pretty great, some of the best we've seen. The Vivo does a slightly better job in the challenging situations, especially with tree leaves in the foreground. Another pretty big thing you'll notice is there's a fair bit of skin smoothing applied and also AI utilized to get details back in the eyes and the hair on the Vivo, while the iPhone gives you a more natural, neutral tone. Okay, now that we've shot all of these shots, let's take a closer look at the details that you're getting both from the Vivo X200 and the iPhone 16 Pro Max. I have them here open up in Lightroom, and then we'll start all the way from the wider shots and then go into the telephoto shots. So starting at the wide shot we have here, this is taken with the main camera lens on both of them. Now if we zoom into the details on the face from this wide shot at about 200% into the face, you actually see the rendition on the Vivo is a lot better because it is using AI. While the iPhone looks natural, you're losing out on detail as you crop it. So if you plan to take a lot of shots and crop in, then the Vivo is probably a better pick because it is using AI. But again, this is subjective because the Vivo does look a little bit over-processed. Now looking at the more tight telephoto shot that you are seeing on screen right now, again, both side by side look very nice. The Vivo does look slightly more over-processed in the skin tones especially, like it's whitened my skin a little bit more, but it has a cleaner, sharper look. So when you post it on social media, it might look nicer, but the iPhone looks a lot more natural and true to life. So if we zoom into the details here on the hair, for example, at 200%, you can see the edge separation on the Vivo is better than the iPhone. And that's something that's very consistent with all the shots, especially when it comes to hair. If I move this around just to the right spot so you can actually look at that, you can see the huge difference in the head separation. Individual strands on the Vivo are cut out, while on the iPhone, it kind of blurs all of that towards the edge. So edge separation wise, I think Vivo has the upper hand. Again, tight shot one more time. Skin tones wise, definitely the iPhone looks better. The Vivo makes me look a lot fairer for some reason, like super white. And the skin is like very smoothened, even though all the settings were turned off. This is one thing I don't like about the Vivo's processing. But again, when it comes to hair and edge separation, absolutely incredible performance on the Vivo compared to the iPhone. All right, now looking at this shot, if I zoom into the details, skin textures and skin tones look more realistic on the iPhone, while the Vivo just has that additional kick of detail, looks slightly more post-processed, which again, preferentially, some people might like. So now again, a different scene, different shot, similar kind of lighting here, but you can actually see that the Vivo's colors, the greens are a little bit cooler tone, while the iPhone greens are a little bit warmer tone. Again, skin texture wise, you can see the iPhone is more realistic, while the Vivo has additional sharpening it's applying. It doesn't look cheap, I'll be very honest. The AI processing makes it look more realistic, but when you really zoom in, then you can kind of tell that this is AI generated, especially in the beard. Like the iPhone actually has a filled up detail in the beard, while the Vivo just applies a layer on top, so you can kind of see where it's falling apart a little bit. And the foliage in the back, the bokeh, looks slightly more realistic on the iPhone than it does on the Vivo. Now this is the main shot that I took on both, and I really like both of these shots in their own way. So zooming into the face and details here, again, you can see the Vivo is very much processed. It's making my skin almost white, like changing my ethnicity at this point. While the iPhone looks more true to life, there's more blood in the skin, as you can see, warmer tones again, and my lips are actual right color, while on the Vivo, it's like I have lip gloss on. From far away, the shot looks amazing on both phones, on the Vivo as well. The bokeh on the Vivo here looks a little bit more DSLR-like, while the iPhone also has that classic portrait mode look. Edge separation wise, both of them on point. What I do notice is the foreground element, the fall off from foreground to the subject itself, which is harder for phones to do, looks great on both devices. The only other thing that I can actually notice is the railing at the back. you can see the Vivo randomly has one part in focus while the iPhone has realized that that's further away and should be completely out of focus. So some hits and misses for the Vivo, while the iPhone is generally more consistent, except for when there's foliage like trees. Now let's take a pause on the comparison for a second and talk about protection. So first up, we have the Dropguard 2S case by X1. There's two variants, the frosted matte and the solid clear. You get 20 feet of drop protection and DNA guard tech for extreme durability. Design features include a 360 grip stand that allows for multiple viewing angles and supports MagSafe charging. This is very much inspired by DSLR designs. Now the solid clear is a solid clear case which doesn't have a rotating back grip. So this is the X1 Armorvisor. It comes with 6 times anti-shock, antibacterial protection, and also anti-blue light. Now that that's installed, let's move on to the Camera Armor Pro. The problem with camera protectors is usually they drop the resolution of your photos and videos as you're shooting them or add on lens flares, but this promises to get rid of all of that while still protecting your camera. Next up, you've got the Razer Magcharge. This is a ultra thin 7.6mm and super lightweight 108-gram power bank, making it highly portable. It features fast heat dissipation and supports PD 20 watts of blazing speed alongside 15 watts of wireless charging. This is built for the iPhone and has its very own animation when it connects to the iPhone, where it actually shows you the charging of both the device and also the power bank. Definitely recommend checking this out. So now this is a cinematic mode versus portrait mode video, both in the iPhone 16 Pro Max and the Vivo X200 Pro. The video you're looking at now is the iPhone 16 Pro Max in 4K 30fps cinematic mode, and now what you're looking at is the Vivo X200 Pro in the brand new portrait video mode, also in 4K 30fps. Now when it comes to the cinematic mode, the iPhone is significantly better here still, especially when you take a look at the stabilization as I'm walking down and Wei Xiang is actually following me right behind. Which one do you think looks better? Let us know down in the comments. So thank you guys for watching. That was the comparison between the iPhone 16 Pro Max and the Vivo X200 Pro, and a huge thanks to Wei Xiang right over here for in the heat taking all these portraits. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Let us know which one you like down in the comments, and definitely check out this case if you're looking for protection for your phone. Thank you for watching. See you again in the next one. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.